your story with mental health. Last year, I really struggled to go outside. I literally just slept, cried, smoked weed, ate, and felt sick. For months, I had stomach problems from anxiety and eating trash, and would throw up multiple times a day. No psychiatric medicine worked. In fact, many made me worse. I hadn't worked since late 2019 and had to take a leave of absence from university. I have a history of unaliving attempts. One left me in a coma. And self-harm since I was a young kid. My partner left me in December. I was heartbroken. I couldn't sleep in my bed anymore, so I slept on my sofa for 2 months and barely moved. I saw a different doctor who didn't give me my meds on a weekly dispense, which usually is the case due to my history of overdoses, and just gave me a month's worth. Fair to say, I saw this as an opportunity and took a large overdose. I was in hospital for a few days. I don't know what changed in my head, but I knew something had to change. I thought, well, if I can't unalive myself, right, then I might as well try out this living thing. A lot of my other unaliving attempts I couldn't remember or were fairly painless. This one was quite painful and traumatic. I decided that the likelihood is if I tried to attempt unaliving again, I will fail and end up with more trauma. And honestly, I just couldn't do that to myself. The NHS weren't very helpful, and at this point, I hadn't even been able to see a psychiatrist for years. I knew I couldn't rely on them. I went to Wilco and bought cleaning supplies, cleaned my flat, and got some new furniture. I couldn't bring myself to clean my kitchen, which I hadn't even been in for months, so hired a cleaner. This helped so much. It helped clean my flat of bad memories and enabled me to actually live. I was using money I really shouldn't have used, but God, it saved my life, so looking back, I don't really care. I did a course of lansoprazole, which cleared up my stomach, and I felt much more comfortable going outside knowing I wouldn't throw up. I treated myself for a month. I went to cafes and read books. I went on beautiful walks. I hung out with friends and strengthened friendships, old and new. I turned vegan, which made me think about what I was eating. A friend had nowhere to stay, so I invited him to stay at mine for a bit, which gave me company, someone to talk to, and I knew he just wouldn't let me get in the position I was in before. I laid off the weed a bit, which was really hard, admittedly, but I realized it would feel a lot better if I smoked as a treat, not all day long. By April, I felt so much healthier. I started to apply for jobs and got the first one I applied for. I felt so scared and worried how I would fare. I honestly lucked out with my job I got. I am so passionate about it, and I'm thriving there. They are so supportive of mental health too. It's seasonal, which meant in April and May, I worked part-time hours, and then June and July, I went up to full-time, which was perfect. In January, my doctor signed me off from working. By July, I was absolutely crushing it. It wasn't easy. I struggled with tiredness a lot at the beginning. I got behind on housework and wanted to just sleep when I wasn't at work. Eventually, it got easier and easier, and now I can handle working 5 days a week. I feel like it was a really good choice to work part-time and work my way up. I feel as if working helps me now, as it gives me something to get up for and stops me going on benders or hiding away. I still struggle with mood swings, diagnosed with BPD, so don't think they're going away anytime soon, and occasional self-harm and suicidal ideation. But I am so less depressed than I was before. BPD episodes. I don't do what I used to: smoke a joint, drink alcohol, self-harm, or argue with my partner. I try to just move on with my day, knowing that it will pass. I have a new boyfriend who has been through a lot of severe mental health issues and addiction, and came through the other side. So that gave me a lot of hope and support. So yeah, in a few months, my life did a 360. I am pretty happy with life now, and planning to go back to university come September. I hope this helps somewhat. Intrigued by the different perspectives on mental health? Follow us for a deeper look into the world of mental health by sharing one personal experience at a time.